Tikka Masala, your own cybersecurity podcast, a podcast that keeps CIOs and CISOs ahead with latest cyber threats and news. So today's just few minute podcast will cover all the cyber threats and news of last week. Yes, now no need to toggle from one website to another or read through various email or WhatsApp messages. Rather, we will compile all the important cyber threats and news from hundreds of online platforms. Also, you can download free supplementary document that has actionable threat intel feeds from link available in the post. And what's more exciting is that you'll stand a chance to win exciting gifts every week. So let's begin. Let's now talk about recent cyber attacks that came to light. A vulnerability in Argo CD used by thousands of organizations for deploying applications to Kubernetes can be leveraged in attacks to disclose sensitive information such as passwords and API keys. The picture on the screen shows how an attack flow works. As a remediation, OEM has already released a security update. Hackers exploited zero-day vulnerability in Zimbra open source email platform to spy on users. The zero-day bug impacts the most recent open source edition of Zimbra running version 8.8.15. Thus, users of Zimbra should consider upgrading to the version 9.0 as early as possible. British snacks producer KP Snacks has fallen victim to a ransomware attack that caused disruption to its manufacturing and distribution operation. As per the initial reports, the Russian-speaking cyber gang behind the Conti ransomware might be responsible. The ransomware attack hit Swiss Port International, causing delays in flight. The company's spokesperson confirmed that the ransomware attack impacted a limited part of company's global IT infrastructure. After the security breach took place on the Thursday morning at 6 a.m. European oil port terminals hit by a cyber attack at a time when energy prices are already soaring. The attack caused short-term fuel shortages and drew attention to the broader threat that ransomware posed to essential infrastructure and services. According to the initial reports, the Black Cat ransomware is behind this cyber attack. Attackers got access to the systems of the National Games of China just before the Winter Olympics have kicked off in Beijing. The attackers were able to gain access to a system hosting content for the national games by exploiting a vulnerability in the web server, were able to load web shells, reconfigure servers, and load tools, including a network scanner and a one-click exploitation framework. The most fundamental security countermeasures include the need for updating software in terms of patching, especially the internet-facing infrastructure. Business services provider Morley disclosed a data breach after becoming a victim to a ransomware attack in last year. The cyber intelligence platform Hack Notice claims to have seen Morley's sensitive data on the dark web last week. A fraudulent subscription campaign called Dark Herring has been targeted over 100 million Android users around the world, causing losses worth hundreds of millions of dollars by abusing millions of devices via their 470 apps. These malicious apps pretend to be casual games, photography tools, utilities, and productivity apps. In fact, the countries with no DCP consumer protection laws, such as India, Finland, Greece, Sweden, Norway, are at greater risk. Now, let's focus on some cyber news that are of importance. US federal government creates first ever cybersecurity incident review board. The 50% white board and the Homeland Security Board will begin with Log4j. The formation of the board was part of executive order that President Joe Biden signed last year. This new board brings together cybersecurity experts from public and private organizations to review and assess significant cybersecurity events. And to start with, Log4j. China is expected in the hack of journalists at News Corp. News Corp, which publishes the Wall Street Journal, said that breach was discovered in the late January and affected emails and documents of what is described as a limited number of employees. New Samba bug allows remote attackers to execute arbitrary codes at root. The vulnerability, rated 9.9 on the CVSS scale, is now fixed in Samba versions 4.14.12 and 4.15.5. 23 new high-severity security vulnerabilities has been disclosed in different implementations of Unified Extensible Firmware Interface, used by numerous vendors including HP, Lenovo, Juniper, and some more. The fact that the software is used in several OEM implementations means it could take a considerable amount of time before the fixes actually trickle down to the affected devices. Critical flaws discovered in Cisco Small Businesses RV series router that could be weaponized to elevate privileges and execute arbitrary code on affected system. OEM also urged its customer to update to the latest version of software as soon as possible. Windows Local Privilege Elevation vulnerability allows anyone to gain admin privileges in Windows 10. As part of the January 2022 patch Tuesday, Microsoft fixed a Win32k elevation of privilege vulnerability. Google patches 27 vulnerabilities with release of Chrome 98. The most severe of these security defects could be exploited to execute arbitrary codes with the same privilege as Chrome browser has on the targeted system. New variant of the update agent malware was found spreading among both Mac and Windows users. The malware tricks its victim by mimicking the legitimate software update and abuse existing user permission to conduct malicious activities. A state-backed Chinese APT actor tracked as Antilleon has been using a new customer backdoor called XPack against financial organizations and manufacturing companies. XPack is a .NET loader and can stay undetected for as long as 250 days. Market research and conferencing services Civicom exposed 8 TB of data due to a misconfigured AWS S3 bucket. It's yet unclear whether the database was accessed by a third party with malicious intent, such as ransomware gangs or threat actors, but in case it did, it would be devastating for Civicom, its employees, and clients. The Greek Data Breach Protection Authority has imposed fines of 9 million euros on telco Cosmot for hiding cyber attack impacts from customers. As the agency says in the announcement, Cosmot infringed at least 8 articles of the GDPR, including violating its duty to inform affected customer of the true impact of the incident. So friends, take your decisions of disclosures or no disclosures wisely. While we discuss about several cyber attacks and ongoing campaigns, so it becomes imperative that you work on improving the security posture in your organizations. So we have compiled a list of actionable IOCs and threat intel feeds around various technologies. You may download these free supplementary documents from our social media handles like YouTube or LinkedIn. So please make the best use of it. Hey, so here we go. Here's a chance of winning an amazing gift. As you know, to win the gift, you just have to like and make some encouraging comment on this podcast post. Your feedback is really important to us. After all, this cybersecurity podcast is your own, and we would make all the best efforts to incorporate your feedback to make it more relevant to you. So please like and comment to encourage us. And the best of the encouraging comment will win an amazing gift. Please do not forget to subscribe or follow us on any of the social platforms. So see ya on the next Magnetic Monday.